Hey gang, today we're going to do one of the all-time classic riffs, Walk This Way by Aerosmith. We'll do the opening riff, we'll do the really super funky main riff, and then we'll do the first solo to it as well. All very cool. Joe Perry's guitar playing is just, don't make him like that anymore. All right. Okay gang, if you like this one, give it the thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, subscribe for one of these every week. We'll see you in just a second. All right, gang. Let's cover this note for note, at least what I played. First things first, though, you can download the tab from the link in the description below. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Second thing is, just briefly on the sound, I'm using a Les Paul playing out of the bridge. I've got some gain on it, but not too much, just enough to break it up and then maybe a tad more. No pedals other than that. That's it. Just kind of pure guitar sound. And you can do it with any guitar you want. Telly would be fantastic, for example. Anyway, you just want that kind of early 70s raunchy rock sound, or dirty rock sound that Aerosmith helped to define. All right. Anyway, you can do what you want on that one. Let's go over the following. We're going to go over the intro, that part, which is really kind of the most iconic part of the sound. We'll also cover what I think is the hardest part, which is the funky middle part. That one's the hardest part, I think. And then we'll go over the first solo break. Okay, not the main solo, but the first solo break. All right. So let's cover the intro first. Now the intro is this iconic All right, so I think the key to this one is to do it like Joe Perry did it originally, and my ears hear him picking every one of those with a bit of a muted hand. Not too much muted, but just a bit of a muted hand on the right hand where you're muting at the bridge. Okay, so we're going to pick every one. We're going to think of this as kind of like kind of an E to an A type of thing. And so we're going to play the following, okay? We're going to play on the 5th string. All right, so that's open, first, second, and then on a 4th string, we're going to play the 2nd fret. All right, so that's the main part. Okay, and then we'll do it again, and then finally play the 6th string open. All right, so here it is slowly. All right. That is pretty much that main riff, and then there's just a couple of variations that we're doing on it. But again, I would advise picking it. If I recall, the Run D.M.C version even, Joe Perry didn't pick it, and it kind of sounded like this. To me, that does not sound anywhere near as funky or cool or raunchy as... All right. So anyway, the second time through, you add a little bit of a accent at the end by pulling off like so. All right. So let me show you that. So the second time around, the first time around it's this. Second time around it's this. So instead of just playing the open E string, you pull off on the 3rd. String, bend it up about a 1/4 step and open it. Oops. And then play the E on the 4th string, which is the 2nd fret. Okay, so it's one more time. All right, 3rd time through, it's like this. So what I'm doing on that one is just muting completely and giving it 2 thwacks. Okay, and the last time it's... So the last time, you're simply, instead of playing that open E, you're playing an A power chord and just kind of sliding it up indeterminately. So that's open on the 5th string, 4th string 2nd, 3rd string 2nd, and just sliding up. All right, and that is the opening. Okay, here's the second part, and like I said, I find this to be the hardest part. It's hard to get funky, it's hard to get it right, and then it's hard to get it funky. So play it very, very slowly at first, and then speed it up. The bummer about this is it's way harder to play slow than it is to play fast. So when you're playing it slowly, it's tough to get it down. So anyway, it's basically a boogie in C. And if you want to just play that, it sounds okay, but I gotta say, it's not as cool as the original. So what we're doing there is we're going to be playing primarily on the 6th string at the 8th fret, and on the 5th string, we're going to play at the 10th fret, and we're going to use that to kind of bend up, or to go up the neck and play that little, that kind of thing. All right, so let's see. So I finger it like this because I have kind of small hands. If you can reach with your pinky really easy and stretch, it's also going to take a bit of a pinky stretch. If you can do that easily just by blocking with your 3rd, go ahead and do that. But here's how I play. I finger this as 1st string on the 6th string, 8th fret, 1st finger, 2nd finger on the 5th string, 10th fret, and 3rd finger on the 4th string, 10th fret, like this. And that's a C power chord if I play that. Now I'm not going to play that, but I'm going to hold down those notes as I play the following. So I'm going to first play, here's the first part that I'm going to, let's get this part down first. Here's the first part of this part. Oops. Okay, so let me take off the autofocus there. It's bothering me. I don't know why it wasn't off before. All right, there we go. All right, so we're going to play 3. Again, you're muting with the right hand, and we're going to play 3 notes on 6th string 8th. Then we're going to play the 5th string 10th, and we're going to play a ghost note. Now, I play a ghost note on the 6th string. Okay? And then when we play that ghost note, then we're going to play the 12th on the 5th string, and then we'll play another ghost note on the 6th, and then we'll play the 10th on the 5th string, and we'll play another ghost note on the 6th, or you can actually play the 8th. So it sort of goes like this. One more time. All right, and just play that really slowly and bring it up to speed. Already, it's improved. Now, we're going to play the second part. The second part is kind of tough, and it's this. So we're playing a little bit on the 4th string. We play 1 note on the 4th string, and it's the 10th fret, starting out. All right, one more time. Okay, so what are we doing there? We're playing the 10th on the 4th string, and then we're playing 2 times the 10th on the 5th string, and then we're playing 13, and that is a stretch because you got to play it with your pinky. So that means my 3rd finger usually comes off for that. So we're playing 13, 10th, 12th, 10th. All right. So here it is again, the whole thing. Now, if you want to pull off, that sounds good. Either one sounds good, okay? Now, what we're going to do is put both of those things together. So here's the first part, and here's the second part. All right, now play it very, very slowly until it makes sense to you, and just slowly bring up the speed and try and keep it as funky as you can. Eventually, once you get it down, it'll start to get funky, and it'll be easier to play at speed than slowly. Okay, so let me try this. I mess up all the time when I'm playing it slowly. See? So again, take that one really slowly. The hard part about it is rest once in a while because you got a big pinky stretch, and if it's hurting your hands, stop and come back to it later. All right, that's the hardest part. Definitely the hardest part. All right. The next part, and I forgot to say this in the intro, is the walk this way, right? So we're going to repeat that. So we're playing this part right here. All right, and then you do that 4 times. Now, that's just a power C chord, so that's 3 of those, and that is 6th string, 8th fret, 5th string, 10th fret, okay? And then we're going to play the shell of a F7 triad. There is no such thing as an F7 triad. Shell of an F7 chord. All right, and that is on the 4, 3, and 2 strings. We're playing 10, 8, 10, respectively, right? Give it a nice little funky feel, okay? So, like this. And then the only thing we're changing in the next time is we're playing an F power chord, which is 5th string, 8th fret, 4th string, 10th fret. And then we'll play that same little shell of an F7. All right, put it all together. It's... That's that. All right, home stretch. Here we go. We also play part of the solo, and you can think of this as in C minor pentatonic or C Dorian, either one you want to do, okay? So I'm going to think about it in C minor pentatonic. Let me play the whole thing kind of slowly. All right, here it is. All right, so it's a really cool little break, and especially as it ends on that A chord, right? All right, so here we go. We're thinking about it as a C minor pentatonic. So up here at the 8th is just our regular old blues box. Right? Nothing special or weird about that. You know, what's amazing to me is the greats always use the normal stuff, and they just make it sound really cool. And Joe Perry does that here. It's really funky. All right, so we're going to start out with a little bend on the 11th, 1st string, about a half step, and cut it off. All right, and then we'll play a... So that is a hammer on and pull off from the 8th to the 11th, and then on the 2nd string, 11th, 1st string, 8th, and then bend up that 11th on the 2nd string a whole step. One more time. Give it lots of vibrato. Okay, that last line starts from 1st string 8th. Then on the 2nd string we've got 11 pull off to 8. And then on the 3rd string we've got 11 pull off to 10 pull off to 8. Okay, and then we've got 10 8. Then 10 and a little half step bend and 8. All right, so the whole first part of the solo is this. Okay, coming into the next part, it goes like this. All right, so we're going to start here, 4th string 10th, and then jump up to 2nd string 10th and bend at a half step. So we're bending it to the 11th. And hold that, and then you're just going to pull off to the 8th. Okay, and then play the 10th on the 3rd, and back up to the 8th on the 2nd. So it sounds like this. And then a totally simple line that just sounds great. We're just going to come down that blues scale on the third string, 11, pull off 10, pull off 8th. And then 2, 10, pull off 8ths. And then 11, pull off 10, pull off 8. And then a 10, pull off 8. And then a 11, bend it up. It's just really amazing how simple it is, right? It's just this. It's just the same lick. Amazing that it sounds so funky when you put it together. All right, you end up on that 11th on the second string, bending that up a whole full step. Give it some vibrato. And then on the, which is an A chord you play, just an A note, which is the 4th string, 7th fret. And that's it, folks. Well, there you have it, gang. Joe Perry, Aerosmith, Walk This Way. Doesn't get any better than that. Hope you enjoyed this one. We'll see you on down the road.